Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Shazwani binti Zulkifli Ahad. My matrix number is 2200925. Today, we will discuss about the heels like a white elephant. The problem we will talk about for today are the causes of the problem that Jake encounters in the story. The first factor is that people. In this short story, the character Jake had encountered firstly, Jake herself. Jake was the main character in this short story. She was also a pregnant woman that needs to make decision about her pregnancy. She only have two choices, whether she needs to abort the pregnancy or give birth to the child. Secondly is the American man. This American man was Jake's lover in this short story. To me, he is an irresponsible man because he has asked Jake to make an abortion for their baby. But then he told to Jake that if she doesn't want to do it, then he wouldn't push her so much. Secondly, the next factor is the methods that has been used in this story, which were choices that Jake needs to choose. Whether she needs to do the abortion or just give birth to the child. There were pros and cons that she will face in this method. Firstly, abort. If Jake makes an abortion, she will face high short-term cost and she will also feel very painful because doing abortion ain't easy. It is a process where we're trying to pull out the baby forcefully before they were supposed to be born. And secondly, if gives birth, if Jake chooses to give birth to the baby, she will also face high short-term costs, just like abortion, and she also will feel the painful of giving birth. But it doesn't hurt as much as during the abortion process. Giving birth to the baby means that it will comes along with responsibility. When a baby born, there were so much things that need to think of. As an example, preparing the basic needs of the baby, such as their milk bottle, their pampers, clothes, etc., etc., and so much more. Alright, moving on to the next. From the etiquettes in this story, I could see that there were two etiquettes, which were both of them still have love for each other. This event could be seen when they were also happy and there's love for this upcoming baby. Even though the American man doesn't show much love towards Jake, but yeah, through their conversation, we could say that he was quite happy with Jake's that going to deliver the baby. But it will be no etiquette if they proceed with the abortion idea, because they will kill a pure innocent life that has nothing to do with their doings in the past. I mean, like the people who've done the sin are their parents, but why the child must be killed? Right. Next is the relationship status that Jake and the American have been through a lot, where we could see clearly that there were no clear picture related to their relationship. There were also like no planning on marriage and no future planning for both of them and their soon-to-be small family. It looks like that American guy was just he just want to have some fun with Jake, because the moment he knows that Jake were pregnant, he himself suggested Jake to abort the baby. But then something had made he change his mind towards that abortion idea, because at last he gives another option to Jake, which was to give birth to the baby. And last but not least were the pressure that felt by Jake, which had become the greatest problem that Jake had to encounter. She doesn't have any external pressure, as there were no force had been made by the American man, but she was having a great conflict internally. First was her mixed feelings, whether she want to abort or to give birth to the child. The good thing that I could see from Jake is that even though the American man had once asked her to abort the baby, She still have a rational mind and feelings as the baby were innocent, and she tends to keep the baby. She also looks like a little bit confused and unclear with their relationship because, as I said before, the man never asked her hand for marriage. So I guess that's all from me, and the next question will be continued by my partner Nur Alia Nabila. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Alia Nabila binti Shamsuddin. My metric number is 2200721. I will doing task 2, which is I need to use SWOT analysis to answer this question, and the question is, if I were G, what will I do? And for me, if I G, I will not doing the abortion, and I will give birth and care of my baby. Strength. First, fulfill the right of all people. This is because each of good creature deserve a chance to live in this world. That means if we do the abortion, we kill the baby. Second is avoid the sorrow. That means we don't want that in the future. We will having a bad nightmare and always be guilty for having ruined the chance of an innocent baby's life. Weakness. First, financial issue. This is because Jake's still young and has no fixed income and enough money to cover the baby's groceries, which is expensive. Second is lack of mental health. This because during prenatal period, pregnant mother can get morning sickness and maybe they do not have enough time to rest. If she does not well prepared, she can easily get depressed and lack of motivation throughout the pregnancy period, which can lead to abnormalities to their baby feet. Opportunity. First, parental knowledge. We will gain parental knowledge because we need to raise child varying age with zero experience. So we need maybe buy some book about parental knowledge, or maybe we can read on article about how to raise our child, and maybe we can have some input with reading book to raise our child. Second is learn new thing. If we are having a child, we need to learn from the past. We need to learn from our mistake, and we will never repeat again. This situation later on will make us realize how difficult it is to raise a child. So we need to always learn new thing. And the last one is treat. Looked down by the society. This is because having a baby at young age without a father, of course, we will get some mental pressure. Second is left by her American boyfriend. This is because Jake had refused to do the abortion, and the American boy do not take full responsibility toward Jake and their babies.